All right, let's look at the Phala Phala farm saga. Several agencies are looking into claims made against President Cyril Ramaphosa regarding his actions following the theft of dollars that were kept in a sofa in his farm. According to a letter seen by the SABC, the Reserve Bank did give the presidency until today to provide additional information regarding the origin of foreign currency. We approached the Reserve Bank. It says, as usual, it does not comment on exchange control investigations, and we have been approaching the presidency to give us their side. This all amid the backdrop of opposition parties demanding answers and accountability in Parliament. Well, let's discuss now. We're joined by political analyst Sandile Swana. Thanks for being with us. There's been no official statement from the presidency. If the president, say, has missed the deadline today and has not been given any form of extension, I guess we first have to recognize it would not be the first time. There was also a delay regarding responding to the public protector.
Yes, the president has been rather slow in answering the questions asked around the Phala Phala farm foreign exchange scandal. At the same time, I understand the Reserve Bank says that they will want to do an investigation themselves, which means they'll take the initiative from their side to chase down whatever information that Cyril Ramaphosa is not providing them with.
Yeah, and what does that suggest to you, also in light of News 24 reporting recently that a Sudanese businessman paid over $580,000 45 days before the theft? If that is true, that means it was on the farm for 45 days. That is based on responses to the public protector. Apparently, the Reserve Bank rules allow for only 30 days. So that would be problematic. And that, according to the reports, the president has admitted to.
Yeah, I have a difficulty also with the issue of the sources of this money. If we accept the president's version that this money did not come from sales of animals at the farm, but it came from investors. Now, investors who come to invest in dollars, those are foreign investors. Now, if you go to any company out there, be it Bidvest or SA Breweries or Sasol, whoever it may be, to say, how do they normally get investment from abroad? It does not come in cash briefcases and you keep it somewhere at home. When you get foreign investment, ordinarily it goes through the banking system and it is cleared, and the South African Reserve Bank and everybody who needs to know about it knows about it. This one coming from places such as Sudan, which are war zones, where all kinds of blood money, blood minerals and all sorts of things are happening, it raises a lot of concern that foreign investors would invest in cash, in hard cash, especially in US dollars.
So you're saying as we go along, in fact, more questions are emerging. I'm not sure how the Reserve Bank would deal with this, even if he did take too long to declare the foreign currency and it wasn't declared in the appropriate time. Now, the step-aside rule relates to being charged with a serious crime. So say he receives a fine or something less serious. Could he emerge from this having broken some rules, but not a serious charge? And what would that mean politically?
I think that the difficulties that we face with ANC leaders, ANC political leaders these days, by the way, there was a time, I think there was a fellow called Ndaweni Mahlangu who said politicians are allowed to lie and stuff like that in the early days of the democracy. And that became a permanent scandal, a big scandal, and I think that sort of dimmed his political prospects. Today, you have to be caught red-handed slaughtering a man or a woman to be in a scandal in the ANC. It is too much. A scandal of this nature, if Ramaphosa is not charged and faces a custodial sentence where he has to spend time in prison, As Tony Yengeni has been inside before, spent time in prison and came out, and is all right now, is in the good books. So Ramaphosa, as Mbalula says, Ramaphosa will walk through this without a problem.
Yeah, and the Ethics Committee has been saying, what do you do with our findings anyway? I've got a copy of the final rules for nomination and election of NEC members that came through in August. And of course, it outlines there the step-aside rule: who may not contest. They have to have been charged in a court of law or have failed in an ANC disciplinary. But the author, Kgalema Motlanthe, is saying the ANC expects the highest ethical and moral standards from its NEC members. Are you saying that effectively is being ignored? Or could enemies of the president say, look at this, it goes beyond being charged in a court of law, we expect ethics here? Could they try and use that at all?
No, they will. That they will for sure. And it is going to be difficult because you know, when you look at George Mashamba, who's the chairman of the Integrity Commission, he's a philosopher, he's a student of ethics. But when you look at the African National Congress, you hardly ever find a serious and sustained discussion anywhere about serious ethical questions. So they've now outsourced morality in the ANC to the NPA and to the state organs to decide moral questions. For instance, if you look at the UK, a chap like Boris Johnson, he was driving at a party there and doing all sorts of things, and that got him into ongoing hot water. And from there it was downhill for him. But in South Africa, you have to commit the most heinous crimes to lose your presidency. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, there are two sides to this, and I'd like to end with this. Somebody like Matthews Posa, who we spoke to recently, said, why should the president respond? There are no claims, there's no evidence here, nothing has been proven. On the other hand, a lot of state resources are being used. SARS involved, the Reserve Bank, the police, the public protector. The president saying, let me give them time and space, but surely a lot of state resources could be spared if he gave full blanket answers to everyone.
Yes, first of all, there is a face value case, a prima facie case, and then if that prima facie case were to be substantiated with a detailed answer point by Cyril Ramaphosa, this money came from Mr. Sorenso from Sudan. This other one came from Mr. Sorenso in the USA. Ms. Sorenso put in so much, and these monies were received on this date, and they were put in this mattress and that mattress. That would help everybody. There is an attempt by many, socially and politically, to try and diminish financial and economic crimes in South Africa. And the mess that we are in South Africa has been caused by our tolerance for financial and economic crimes as we speak today.
All right, thank you very much, political analyst Sandile Swana. We're also following what opposition parties are saying, some of them planning to march to the Public Protector's Office saying, where is the report? It's been almost 3 months, this while Parliament was also disrupted last Tuesday, and those parliamentarians still calling for accountability.